Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to a tag video. So yeah, it's been a long time since I did a tag. This is the top 10 horror performances tag. So I believe this originated as just a top 10 video from Sean Patrick Urshan, and it turned into a tag. Many of us follow suit and started doing this. I was tagged by Lisa Loves. So yeah, um, so if you're watching this and you want to be, you want to do this one or ever, then consider yourself tagged. I mean, it's already, you know, a lot of people have already done this one, so I can't think of anyone to tag. So whoever's watching and you haven't done this video and you feel like you want to do it, then yeah, go do it. Okay, so here is my top 10. Before I get going, I want to throw in some honourable mentions in there because, this. Honourable mentions go to Lon Chaney Jr., Phantom of the Opera, and, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Lon Chaney, not Lon Chaney Jr. Naomi Scott from Smile 2. One of those rare occasions where a sequel is slightly better than its predecessor, in my opinion. Tim Curry as Darkness from Legend and Pennywise. Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter. Despite the small screen time he gets in it, he obviously makes his time count. Doug Bradley as Pinhead, because he's up there with Freddy and Jason and stuff. Gunnar Henson as Leatherface. That guy suffered a lot when making that film and didn't return as for any of the sequels. And then, of course, Demi Moore in The Substance. Yeah, I feel like she should have got a bit more appreciation for that, like an Oscar. Looks well for her age, too. 63, I think she is now. Okay, let's get on to my top 10. So, number 10 is Jonathan Breck as the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. So, yeah, I'm not going to get into the details about its controversy and that. I'm here talking about the actor in general and his performance as that creature, the Creeper. See, even though he doesn't say anything, he, he, just his features is what does it. And I don't think anyone can play him other than him. I mean, yeah, they had that fourth movie, Jeepers Creepers Reborn, which I thought was terrible, and the Creeper just didn't do it for me. But, Jonathan Breck, even in his audition, he didn't have to say a single line. All he did was go up to people and sniff them and creep them out, and that's how he won the part. So, yeah, Jonathan Breck. Number 9 is Kane Hodder as Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th, Part 7, 8, The Final Friday, and Jason X, who has played Jason in the most films. Again, he doesn't need to say a line. His hulking appearance and, all that makeup on. Also, I feel he gave Jason a bit of his own thing with his walk and the way he would improvise with his hands to kill if not a machete was available. So yes, Kane Hodder. Next, we're going back to the vintage times. Boris Karloff as Frankenstein's monster. I mean, he would sit for 16 hours a day in the hot California sun in that makeup, and it must have been torture for that man. And also, back then, the actor got no say. They were treated very poorly back then. And Karloff in all that makeup, and the expressions he puts on. Of course, he does get more dialogue in the sequel, but yeah, that makeup for its time as well. Pretty good stuff. And, his portrayal cemented the pop cultural thing where every future portrayal of the creature would follow the whole flat top and the neck bolts, like Herman Munster, you know. So, number 7, we got Vincent Price. I can't remember his character now, but in the film Theatre of Blood from 1973, he played a crazy Shakespearean actor who didn't like the reviews he read on some theatre critics and picked them off one by one, recreating segments from Shakespearean plays. Yeah, he's just wacky in this film and has some very dark humour in it too. I will warn you, in that film, he does make a guy eat his own dogs in a pie. Yeah, if you love animals and that, and you do mind seeing them be killed and what have you. Yeah. But still, I could have picked any other role, like House on the Haunted Hill, or The Last Man on Earth, House of Wax. But I liked watching him in this one. Next, at number 6, we got Nick Castle as Michael Myers from Halloween, the OG Michael. Again, we don't see his face, and even when the mask does come off, that's not Nick Castle. That's another guy playing Michael. But the way he walks around, lurks in the background in the shadows, does that breathing noise, his movements. Yeah, and also he would go on to reprise the role in the requel trilogy, only for cameo scenes. Although I believe he did get his cameo from Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends removed or something. But he has a solid on-screen cameo in the 2018 film during that mirror scene. Next at number 5 is the late Tony Todd as Candyman. I like the film Candyman. I could have said Final Destination. I could have said, Wishmaster, or, Night of the Living Dead remake, but I like his portrayal of Candyman with the soothing voice. It's so beautifully done, that film, with the dark suspense and stuff, and the way he plays the character, like, be my victim. You can almost sympathize with him, given his tragic backstory, which is all with race. Yeah, so next, number 4 is Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger in the Nightmare franchise. So yeah, one thing that I think is true, is proven, is that no one else can play Freddy other than Robert Englund. Because it requires his physical features, his physical performance, his voice and everything. The makeup he has, it's different every time, but he's playing the same guy. I mean, yeah, he was dark and scary and creepy in the first movie, but over time he went into wacky cartoon territory. But that's how I kind of liked my Freddy. Jackie Earle Haley, I like that he played a dark, more sinister role, but, I just feel that, the role is England's. So yeah, Robert Englund is Freddy Krueger. Also, I don't know many other roles of Robert Englund's. I know he was in House of a Thousand. Well, I've seen that, House of a Thousand Maniacs, and the original V series, and seen other supporting roles he's done, like in Urban Legend and Wishmaster and stuff. But come on, he is Freddy Krueger. Next, at number 3, we got Mia Goth in Pearl. So Ty West's X trilogy stars Mia Goth in all 3 films, playing Maxine Minx in X and the third film Maxine, and also doing the dual role in X as Pearl, as a creepy old woman, and then under the makeup is her. And in the prequel, which is the second installment, Pearl, yeah, how we see her descend into madness, and that table scene, she owns that scene. It goes on for like 10 minutes, but I don't know, she just sells it, and just does it greatly. And Mia Goth, I've really grown to like her in recent times, ever since she got my attention with X. And I look back and realise, oh, I've seen him in quite a few other films as well. So yeah, Mia Goth, Pearl. Number 2 is an old one, Bela Lugosi as Dracula from the 1931 film. Dracula was the first horror picture to have sound. Yeah, I mean, the first movie to have sound was 1926's The Jazz Singer, but this was the first horror feature to have sound, and it must have been mind-blowing for people of that time. And Bela Lugosi's portrayal of Dracula going, I am Dracula, and his, his aristocratic look, this would go on to cement the modern portrayal of how Dracula it gets portrayed in later films with the whole black cloak and the collar and the Transylvanian accent and stuff, even though he was Hungarian. But yeah, just look how many Draculas have come from this look. And, even though the role kind of made and breaks his career, he did other roles like the Wolfman and the later Frankenstein films, but he's obviously going to be known for playing the Count. They even buried him in his Dracula costume. And number 1, of course, is David Howard Thornton as Art the Clown. So, again, another silent performer, but uses his expressions and his features and everything to perform as art. The makeup and prosthetics, I don't know. Art the Clown is just a creepy clown. And I'm not scared of clowns, but he's a clown I would not want to encounter. Just the sinisterness and the way he has a ball with his kills. And, David Howard Thornton wasn't the original actor who played Art. In the short film, is it the Railway Station, Station 9, and the anthology movie All Hallows Eve, that wasn't David Howard Thornton. It was a different actor, and his name now has slipped my mind. But let's just say that guy walked so David Howard Thornton could run. And, Thornton has gone on to play Art in 3 feature Terrifier films and a upcoming 4th one, which I think is said to be the last, but it's horror, since when is it ever the last installment? But, yeah, David Howard Thornton, he can only play Art the Clown. Even though he wasn't the original actor, he's made it his own. And taking inspiration from, like, The Laughing Man and, silent pictures for his performance. He's definitely a modern horror icon in this time. And in real life, he's a nice guy. I've been told and I've seen, like in interviews and that. But yes, Art the Clown. So yeah, there is my top 10 horror performances in this tag video. Like I said, if you want to do this video, consider yourself tagged. I don't know who in this community has done this tag. I know that Lisa Loves, James Reviews from the Grave, and Legion of Doom and the Trash Picture. I think they've all done their version of the tag, and I will usually tag them lot. But like I said, you got the time, you want to give your top 10, then by all means feel free to do so. So yeah, there you go. There has been my top 10 horror performances tag. Have you seen this video? Have I seen this? I'm not doing a review. Yeah, if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, share with your friends, feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell. All of my social media links are linked down below in the description, so feel free to check all that out. I have been Random Ross, and this has been my top 10 horror performances tag, as I said that for the millionth time. So yeah, I'll be seeing you soon, so until next time, don't have nightmares.